Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow Room. Oh, I can't even reach this thing. There we go. All right. Now we're moving backwards through the alphabet. We just finished Ponchielli, but we're still in the POs. And now we have piano music by Manuel Ponce. This is really fun. This is a CD record played by Jorge Federico Osorio, really marvelously recorded, like most CD products. I actually have more Ponce, but he's one of those composers who sort of appears in collections of Latin American whatever music, or there's concertos and Mexican violin concertos and things. So most of it's upstairs and it's like in boxes and things like that. But this was really nice to find. A disc of individual piano works. You get the Canciones Mexicanas, wonderful pieces, 3 lovely little pieces, and the concert etudes, 3 of those, a bunch of trozos románticos, which are also fun, the Legend, which is called Legend, Legende, there we go. Mazurkas, the Suite Cubana. Oh, yeah, that's got lovely stuff. And 2 etudes for Arthur Rubinstein. A terrific little collection of music that you probably haven't heard. And they're just fun character pieces. They make lovely encores. I mean, they deserve to get heard more frequently. Then we've got, let's see, what else have we got here? Yes, absolutely. We've got Pleyel. What's his name here? Ignaz Pleyel. Pleyel, who lived from 1757 to 1831, a pupil of Haydn. He was so much a pupil of Haydn that Haydn actually took one of his pieces and sold it as his own, much to Pleyel's consternation. And Haydn was very embarrassed when he realized he hadn't written it, that Pleyel had written it. Could be they chatted about it beforehand. Who knows? I've got more of his stuff upstairs, but here's a little collection of 3 discs down here in the Overflow Room. We've got his symphonies, 3 symphonies with the Capella Istropolitana under Uwe Groth. Now, Pleyel was known more for doing Symphonia Concertantes. He's the reason that Haydn's Symphonia Concertante, whatever you want to call it, also known as Symphony No. 105, was written, because he was competing with his pupil Pleyel, who was hired by the competing concert series in London, not Solomon's, the other one, and was composing for that series. So Haydn had to say, well, I can show him, aside from stealing his music. So this is a lovely Naxos disc. Their works that were written in 1778 to 1786. He wasn't a symphonist on the level of Haydn, let's not kid ourselves, but there's some really good music in here, especially the C minor on here, which is 28 minutes long. It's a big symphony. They have Ben numbers, in case you're wondering, Ben, it's Ben 121, and it's really quite something. So that's nice to see. Then we've got string quartets, 3 of those. The string quartets, Opus 2, number 1, 2, and 3. These are early works. They are in what you might call the Rococo style. Let me see, what does it say when these were written? Let's see. No, Mozart encountered them. They're in 1784. So they are very well written and most pleasing to listen to. You will also see at once who was his master. Well, it will be a lucky day for music if later on Pleyel should be able to replace Haydn. Well, it didn't quite happen that way, but they're charming. They're 3 movement works. They begin, one of them begins with a slow movement, but they're generally speaking, fast, slow, fast, and delightful. Definitely worth hearing. I don't think they sound too much like Haydn particularly, but they're well written, as Mozart said, pleasing and charming. Then we've got some concertos, 2 clarinet concertos, which are really good pieces. They're from 1897-ish, it looks like, a couple of these things, and they're big pieces, serious pieces, beautifully written for the clarinet, and they deserve to be performed periodically. This is with Paul, by the way. Do we care about who is doing those? This is with the Enso Quartet. There we go. And the symphonies were Uwe Groth. Did I say that? And the Capella Istropolitana. Yeah. So that's that. And these are with Paul Meyer, clarinet, Jean-Pierre Rampal, flute and conducting, with the Franz Liszt Chamber Orchestra, because you also get the Franz Danzi Sinfonia Concertante for flute and clarinet, which is just charming. That was really the big thing. Symphonies weren't such a big deal. We have a very lopsided view of what was popular in those days because, Haydn symphonies and string quartets and things became, the works, right? And Mozart and Beethoven sort of took it over. But concertante symphonies were the big deal in Paris, and they were all the rage in Europe. And they were pioneered by J.C. Bach, the English Bach, the London Bach. So yeah, this is a lovely disc on Denon. It was fun. Certainly survived the Overflow Room. And last but not least, we have Ildebrando Pizzetti. Now, I like Pizzetti. Pizzetti was a really good composer. He was an Italian neo-classicist. He was part of that crowd of like Malipiero and Casella and all of those folks. And his three symphonic preludes from Oedipus Rex of Sophocles, which is what it's called, it's a big long title, was the first work I ever played in the Johns Hopkins Symphony Orchestra. I was the cymbal player. It's the only percussion instrument that they require, along with timpani. And I have 3 discs here. We've got his Prelude to Fedra, the concerto for his piano concerto, which is beautiful, Canti della Stagione Alta, which is lovely, and the Sinfonia del Fuoco for the film Cabiria. There we go. Really, really cool. Pretty music. He was just, not a heavy duty panty romantic type guy. I mean, his music is lovely and well crafted and somewhat intimate and restrained, but none the worse for it. Except when you get to like Murder in the Cathedral. Oh my God, yes, which is sort of gruesome and heavy hitting. This is with the Wiener Staatsoper, Vienna State Opera. There we go, and Herbert von Karajan from the Salzburg Festival, right? It was Wiener Staatsoper Live. There we go, and it's with, wow, what a cast, an amazing cast here. We've got Christa Ludwig is only she's the second Chorführerin. Yeah, okay, fine. She was like a minor part back in the day. It's Hans Hotter is here, and you've got Kurt Equeluz and Claude Heater, Anton Dermotta, Gerhard Stolze, Paul Schöffler, Walter Berry. I mean, all these people. This is from 1960, live recording in mono. So it's a nice gruesome opera. It's like, it has a murder. It's in the cathedral. And then we've got Pizzetti doing La Pisanella and the Concerto dell'Estate, which is just delightful, beautiful work, with Lamberto Gardelli and the Orchestra de la Suisse Romande. Also on here are the 3 Botticelli pictures with the Argo Chamber Orchestra and Laszlo Heltai. Remember that? That was coupled with the Lauda, the Respighi's Lauda and Deita Silvane with Robert Tier singing. It was an Argo disc. Well, they've just taken one piece out from here, and there you go. And Nino Rota's Concerto for Strings with I Musici, a beautiful disc of Italian instrumental music on Australian eloquence. All worth hearing, well worth hearing. So there you have it, my friends. Pizzetti, and Pleyel, and Ponce, and we're just pursuing our path through the P's. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.